Midwest region of the United States, we introduce to you the Chocolate Dollar Podcast.
I'm Ed.
I'm Jonathan.
That long fart
That's
was
Noah.
from Noah.
Welcome to the Chocolate Dollar Podcast, ladies and gentlemen. So today's episode, we had an interesting topical discussion that we thought would be kind of fun to have.
Coke or
Really
Pepsi?
interesting. The question of if you could see the future, could you change it?
Could you change it?
Yeah.
So basically, that's our concept of future. Like, is it?
Yeah. Like, okay, for instance,
Ed, what are you looking at?
this question was
He was on
inspired.
Facebook.
This question was inspired by watching Marvel
S.H.I.E.L.D..
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. There was an Inhuman character who, when they touch you, you could see the future.
Mm-hmm.
In this particular case, you could see somebody's death.
Right.
And I thought it was cool because the entire time all of these characters are trying to figure out how they can stop what this one character says she saw.
Right.
And I just thought that was kind of an interesting concept of, like, if you saw the future, like some sort of result, could you change it? Like, is there anything that you could do in that moment to make sure that that wasn't your future, or
Like, that's so Raven.
or
You were so gonna say.
I had the gears going. I was just like, I watched a documentary. Okay, you beat me.
So what do you guys think? Do you
So
think
what
you
you're
could change
saying
it, or
is
do
you
think
would
that-
have like made that joke a better joke. You would have
Yeah.
delivered it a little bit better.
Yeah.
Well, let's
I'm
hear
s-
your
I'm
version
sorry,
then,
Ed.
Go.
No,
Alright,
it's like
what's your
it's
version of
not
the joke?
funny. I didn't even
No,
like.
no,
think
no,
that.
no, no,
No,
no. I
no,
want to
just
hear how
say-
you would
just
have
say-
delivered
I
it.
was gonna
Rewind.
say
So, do you guys think it's possible?
not for females.
What?
I had to just change my whole entire concept of time and reality because you said it first. I saw myself saying that joke, and then you said it.
Oh my gosh.
That's not seeing the future, though.
All right. So basically, it's our concept of time is concrete. Is time concrete? Is the future concrete? Is
Yeah.
everything that will happen already set to happen? Are
Yeah.
you destined to marry one person? Are you destined to, be in this job at this time and place? Are you destined to buy this house and this car? Are you destined to
Kinda.
have one son and one daughter? Like this,
And
that sort
like,
of thing.
yeah,
Everything
and-
is set in stone.
And part of what I was thinking about this whole if you saw the future, could you change it type thing, is the fact that you see the future and then you're trying to change the future, what
Mhm.
inevitably leads you to that future.
Right.
Whereas otherwise, if you wouldn't have, would it be your future
Right.
type thing?
Well, but see, and like that's, the interesting thing is like if the future is set in stone, then like there's no way we can avoid it, and there's no getting around it. Like
Mhm.
if that's the way it is, then that's the way it is. And like even if that's true, like that's not to say like it seems, and this is kind of some people's arguments is like it seems like, oh, you don't have any freedom, but you still do, and there are some arguments with that, but I think that like no, not everything is set in stone. Like there are, I think, some things that will happen, but like most stuff, I would say like tomorrow I'm not really destined to wear one thing. I could pick whatever I wanted to tomorrow, and wear that. I think that, these micro actions that you make, these micro choices that, don't really have any effect on your day-to-day life. They're just kind of there, amoral. It's just whatever, then, that's not really destined to happen. Like you definitely have freedom and free choice and free will.
Yeah.
So. That was deep.
You used a lot of words.
I did use
And I'm a little turned around, but I get what you're saying.
True.
My pastor was actually talking about that in church the other day, so it fits in real well.
Really?
Yeah. But now what about Edge of Tomorrow?
Dude, that's a good movie.
I was thinking about that
Yeah.
the other day. Like, I
love
want to
that movie.
rewatch it.
You mean Live, Die,
Same.
Repeat?
No.
Did they? I don't think they technically changed. I think that's on the box, but I don't
Yeah.
think that they changed the name of the movie.
If you try to look up Edge of Tomorrow on IMDb, it doesn't show up.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Well,
look it up right now.
Last time I checked,
I'm gonna look it up.
Edge of Tomorrow.
I'm just gonna look up Tom Cruise.
Oh, never mind. I'm wrong.
Wow, you suck.
Boo.
Boo. Get fired.
Boo.
Get triggered.
Never mind.
I'm
Yeah, Edge of
triggered.
Tomorrow. So okay, so put yourself in that situation. You like anytime that you die or something happens and then your life starts over. Would you eventually just get sick of it? And or what would you end up doing to like okay, for instance, I know that like this whole concept originally of the like you keep reliving the same day over and over and over again came from a different movie, Groundhog Day. And there was a point where like and it's even an episode of Stargate, a couple characters end up doing this. They just do stuff they know that they can like screw around with just because they know like nobody's ever going to remember. They can totally get away with it. What's that one thing that you would do to like
If I had like 24 hours that I continually like did over and over.
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I would eat a lot of junk food. I'll tell you what. I don't know.
I feel terrible, but my gut reaction is to do like bad things.
I know, like that's your gut reaction.
like-
Is like if I get away with anything, I'm holding up a bank.
Yeah, no, I thought about that. Like
It's,
what
like,
if, what if
really
you take like
strange.
what if you take 24 hours to plan the perfect bank robbery and then or even like
Well,
several
it would
different
take
days.
Several days of the same
Oh,
day.
that would be a cool movie.
That would be a cool
Like
movie.
somebody's like it's the perfect crime and it's robbed and like this guy just can't figure it out and then he discovers the criminals have been reliving the same 24-hour
They've
day
been-
over and over and over again.
Well, like they can like manipulate time or something like.
yeah, and
something
so like they
that.
just kept retrying and retrying
That
until
would
they
be a
got it
cool
perfect.
movie. If like they did that, or like somehow they have like the power to like manipulate time so
Yeah.
that they
Or
just
they've
stall
been cursed by
themselves.
this like mystical crime boss. It's like you're going to relive the same day over and over
This is a
again
blood
until you pull it off.
sacrament, so that
Until you pull it off, and then so like they're the
gosh.
victims,
Oh
but
my
the officer
gosh.
doesn't know that
That's
until after he figures it out.
That
and then
would
he,
be
Then he
interesting.
realizes like,
that would
crap.
be interesting.
these guys are the victims.
Just as long as it has Tom
Or-
Hanks.
It's aliens.
Oh.
Who are robbing a bank on Earth just because they're digging around.
No,
They're like,
they're
"We're just gonna
aliens.
screw with these
Gazorpi, you're
guys."
supposed to be flying the ship. It's just like, but come on.
I made $1 million today.
We don't even use those. Troll
But, okay,
it.
no. How about this? How about this?
Trolled.
How about this?
Get triggered.
Oh, I'm triggered.
How about this? The aliens are testing new technology on human beings, and they have been for centuries. We just never realized until this guy.
Light effect. Light effect, anyone?
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, light effect.
No,
is
we're
a-
not. No.
Well,
no, we're not
without
explaining. We're
context,
not
that joke doesn't
no,
make
we're not
any
explaining.
sense.
That's fine. It can be our in joke. We're not explaining.
Okay,
that.
whatever.
Oh gosh, what a time.
So yeah, what would you do to,
Oh gosh.
what would you
For
do?
what now?
Like
For what?
specifically, if you were reliving the
if
same
I was
day over
reliving
and
the
over
same day.
again.
At least one of the days I would drive my car as fast as I can.
Oh,
and just
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. No, I would just floor it.
pee on someone.
What?
Well, like not
Stand-
someone in my family.
You go to a tall, you go downtown to a parking garage. You
Go to the
stand
state
up on
capitol.
The edge, and you just whiz off.
Go
the
to the
side.
state capitol. Just take a massive dump right off the state capitol.
Find the governor's office.
Yo, what's up?
Oh my gosh.
You get thrown in jail, and then
Oh
the
my
next day you
gosh.
wake up in your bed and you're like,
That
So
was so worth
satisfying.
it.
Dude, what if you tried out for like American Idol or The Voice or something like that every time? And it's just like I just kept reliving the same
Oh,
audition.
okay, what if you like convinced the world that you were a psychic? Because you knew what somebody else would do.
Wait,
But it
psychic?
would
just
just be
case
that
that.
one day. So it
You
would be
take the
so
world by storm
boring,
for one
though.
day.
It would be so boring.
Wait,
Okay, so how long do you think you guys could take it? Like, how many repetitions of the same day do you think you could take before you went crazy?
I think by like the second one, or I would already be thinking like, how many times is this gonna happen?
I
Like,
think I would. Yeah, once I got to like the 10th, that's when I would actually start to break down and go insane. I honestly think so, because like, it would be like, okay, this is fun for like maybe the first 4 or 5 times, and then afterwards, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm stuck in this.
yeah.
And like
Yeah.
finally, once it's
So you'd
it's
start trying
like,
to figure out how to get out of it.
Oh, absolutely.
What
like,
would you
I would.
try to do?
I mean, I would take a couple of times. You know, I would take a couple of days just to like do whatever the crap I wanted. You know, like I don't know. I would.
Would you
sell
kill anyone?
No, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna murder someone.
But then the next time you wake up, they're gonna be fine.
Yeah, but I have to like. No, that's terrible.
Okay,
That's terrifying.
That poses another interesting question, but continue with what you were saying.
Well, okay, so here's like you would sell everything, like immediately, take all your money out, and then just fly to one place for like one day, you know?
Mhm.
And like the next day, you still have your stuff, and then you do it again and visit another thing. So that would be the perfect way to travel.
you know, that's another movie idea. This girl has like the most romantic day of her
Stop.
life by just meeting this one
stop.
guy.
Just
And it's just
stop.
absolutely perfect. And then
Stop.
she realizes the man
No.
has been doing the same thing
No.
every single
Stop.
day. He's just been reliving that day.
Reliving that day,
Yeah.
and it's his father.
Oh,
Okay.
it's our long lost twin brother.
So my other question then, like going back to like, would you kill somebody? Would you be liable, like, even because your life is still continuing, time is still continuing for you. It's just the same
Right.
exact day over and over again. So if you kill
is
someone,
life continuing for you, or are your memories continuing? Because you're stuck in the same body.
Yeah.
I think it's just. It's not like your body is getting older. You're just adding to your memory space.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think.
yeah.
You know.
So then,
I
would you
think-
be liable for killing that person?
I think it would plague you, kind of
Even
like.
though-
Well, I mean, yes, you killed someone. I
so
mean,
even if you got
like,
out of it, you would.
okay, let's go back to the Bible. If Jesus said that, you know, you were told don't like kill anyone, but even if you hate your brother, that's still as bad as killing someone.
Yeah,
Like, and that was,
murder.
you know, there's stuff behind that. I'm not gonna go into theology, but like. You killing someone, you still killed someone. That's not okay.
Yeah.
Just because
Okay,
they're still
I know.
alive the next day, technically,
Yeah.
they're still dead at one point in time in your memory.
because of you.
I've heard the thing of like, if there's a like, you have a little box with a little button, and it's like every time you push this button, it's gonna kill a person in Africa.
But
India.
You're gonna get $1 million.
I think that's a movie, but
And then you're gonna fly to Hawaii.
But
and then
the
you're gonna
whole-
romance
whole
a girl,
point-
and then-
Is that a movie?
No.
Oh, okay.
no, but the whole point, like, okay, well, you can push the button. Maybe no one cares. Maybe they were sick and about to die anyway, so it might not really matter. But it's just that whole like
fact that
You still
I
killed
ended this
someone.
person's life.
yeah.
Yes.
And I hate to change topics, but don't let me forget to talk about immortality. 'Cause I was gonna say.
Why don't we just talk
Yeah,
about
talk
that
about it now.
Okay, well, I read these. I read these books as a kid. Percy Jackson and the Olympians. I thought they were really cool. Loved them, but they essentially had like the
Didn't
Greek.
they make him into like 2 crappy movies or something? Nonsense
Yeah,
like
I was kind of upset, but that's like the only time in my life where I've been like, the books were better than the movie. I was that guy, but anyway, like the Greek gods were supposedly still around and whatnot, and this whole like
Mhm.
immortality thing. And I don't know, I always thought about it like they have. If you've heard the story of Hercules, even in the cartoon one,
Mm-hmm.
Disney one, it's the same way where he like turns down immortality to be with his girlfriend
Yeah.
or whatever.
Mm.
And honestly, immortality. Okay, first off, if you were the only immortal person, I think that would
That
blow.
would suck.
If you're
Yeah, because you would think starting out that'd be great, but then as you slowly start losing all of your friends, and then the next generation of friends that you made, and then like
yeah,
your family, outliving your kids would be a hard one, I think.
Oh,
yeah,
definitely.
I mean, it would. It sounds awful, but dying, kind of.
Dying is kind of a
It
reward.
serves its purpose.
Yeah. But then like, if you take that to a next level and like you're immortal, but there's like a group of other immortal people.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's better. But even in this, like, sure, the Greek gods weren't supposed to get along all the time,
Mm-hmm.
but it was like most of them seemed kind of just bitter all the time.
Yeah, if you
Mhm.
grew up, if your entire life, you were immortal, starting at one point, and then you were in a group of people. I love you guys, but sometimes I get sick of you guys,
It's
and
true.
so living
Yeah.
forever with you guys, I think that eventually that friendships would break and snap, and it'd be like,
It's true.
But the thing is, like, we can say I'm really just don't want to hang out with you guys, and so we don't hang out for maybe 2 weeks, and it's like, oh wow, I haven't seen you guys for. But like immortality, it could be like years,
Yeah.
centuries, kind of thing of like.
I don't want to see you for the next 3
Yeah, I'm
centuries.
like, no one I could literally do that. Let's not talk for a year.
We joke about that all the time.
But I don't know. It's just that weird thought of, in the end, I'm trying to think of movies or anything where they're like, you're immortal now. I mean, okay, yes, there is like going to heaven. I feel like that's
Right.
different.
Yeah.
But like, I'm thinking of like the Greek gods in like Clash and Wrath of the Titans. Like, immortal doesn't necessarily mean you can't die. It means you have
You're
you
not going to
can't
die of
die
natural
from
causes.
old age.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you will always continue to live unless someone stabs you in the heart and you die.
Yeah.
That's basically how it works. And so like, if that's the case with immortality, I feel like I could live with that. Like, have just a longer life.
Yeah.
You know, and not have to worry of like, oh, I'm gonna die when my heart fails when I'm 90.
Yeah.
You know, or something like that. But like,
And then when you're good and ready, you'll just fly a plane straight into a mountain.
just like, all right, I'm gonna take this little prop jet. I'll see you guys later.
Hey,
Where'd
that's
Noah
the
go?
immortal guy. Oh.
Okay, so going back to this then, like, if you're reliving the same day over and over again, I mean, in Edge of Tomorrow, it's a different thing of, like, every time he dies, the day starts over again.
And he basically can die, right?
Yeah, but, like, in the Groundhog Day scenario, what happens if you die?
I haven't seen the movie Groundhog Day.
I haven't seen it either.
I think it's just whenever he goes to sleep
Oh, okay.
and he wakes up the next day. It's the same day.
So if he just stays
Is
awake
it a
the
comedy?
entire time.
I think so.
It's Bill Murray, so I'm
Yeah.
assuming yes.
Oh, okay.
Apparently, he's a really good golfer, but that's the point.
Okay. Wait. So what was the question? I kind of missed it.
Like, in the Groundhog Day sense of this interesting topic, when he falls asleep and he wakes up, it's the same day. Could he die in that day, and would that end it all?
Why? I would assume so. I mean, if it only happens when he goes to sleep, then
I think it would end if he died without seeing the movie, but
shut up.
So, okay, what would you try to do to fix? Like, what would be the first things that you would try to get out of this loop?
a vasectomy.
What?
I don't want to have kids.
All right. I think I would honestly try to find the smartest person who understands time, or like some sort of like physics or like
Computer.
what? Shut up. But like, you know, someone who understands that concept and that idea, and why is Grant not here? And he would probably be dropping some nonsense on us right now.
Probably.
But like, you know, just having someone who sort of understands that idea and like could maybe figure out a scientific formula of like, this is how this works.
Yeah.
Meet me tomorrow, and I'll give you.
But then they
give me
wouldn't
this
remember.
formula.
But there is no tomorrow.
Right. But like, you could still continue to build the formula if you like give him this formula that
Yeah.
day, and the next day he's like, oh my gosh, okay, this is
I
the
did
formula.
this
Let's work on
today."
it now and see how much farther we can get, and like,
Yeah.
you know, keep going and going, and you would have like some sort of hope to hold on to that, like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I'm gonna get out of this
Wait,
sometime.
have you guys seen Interstellar?
Yes.
I love that movie.
That's a fantastic
I
movie.
saw
really
it
good movie.
once, but like half one night, half the other night,
Uh-huh.
and I got very, very lost. It looked like it would be a really cool movie, but I was just very lost.
Well,
in
it's
the second
it's
half.
3 hours. It's
Yeah.
super
Yeah.
long,
But
like most Christopher Nolan. I love
And it's a
Nolan.
Christopher Nolan movie, so there's lots of like.
Do you
you
know
have to
he's
be paying
making a
attention.
World War II movie?
Really?
Yeah,
it's
and
Matthew
not in the world.
I just watched The Wedding Planner the other night. Whew. I was-
Yeah, is that all you had to say about that, or
Yeah.
okay? He's making a World War II movie, and Harry Styles from One Direction will be in it.
I actually knew that.
And you knew that?
Well, it's Harry Styles.
Oh my gosh!
That's interesting. I didn't know that at all.
I don't know that he has like a main role or anything, but he's in it.
Yeah.
I just hope that he's like walks out of a tank and just like flips his and then just gets
have you-
shot or something.
Mowed down.
Have you guys seen like all three movies in the personal Nolan trilogy?
Yeah.
Like, Prestige, Inception, Interstellar.
I haven't seen The
Yeah.
Prestige, but
Yeah, I
I
haven't seen
watched
Well,
the
there's
trailer.
also Memento and like I
Oh,
think another
yeah.
one. I
But
can't
like the big
remember
three
name of
people
it.
think of
Inception,
other than the Dark Knight
Interstellar,
trilogy.
Prestige. Right? Yeah.
is
I want to see Prestige because we always watch the trailer before watching some movie. It's like a commercial before.
Yeah. It's super
And we're always
confusing,
like,
and then
oh,
in the end,
I
it
actually
makes
called
sense.
the ending. I literally
I didn't
called
see
it.
that coming. Like,
Can you
I was
not
super
spoil it?
Yeah, no, because you want to not know the ending when you see it the first time.
That's how it normally
She's
is.
dead the whole time.
He sees dead people. The psychiatrist is a dead person. Can you believe it?
Wait, is that a different movie? The one
Yeah,
They
it's
were all dead
Sixth
the whole
Sense.
time. Yeah.
that's freaking creepy.
Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis is a psychiatrist, and he doesn't realize that he's dead.
That's
And the
blowing
kid
my
he's
mind,
talking
and I
to that
don't
sees dead
even
people
know what the movie
is talking to him because he's dead.
I see dead.
Spoiler alert.
I'm like scared. I freaking hate scary movies.
Yeah, same.
I would do that if
What is it
if
about
I-
the scary movies that like?
I don't know. It just feels demonic. Like I don't like that, and I don't enjoy being scared. I don't
Yeah.
like seeing people get murdered. Like that,
Okay.
I don't feel
Well,
a
okay.
rise of joy swell up in me when that happens.
well,
I'm like, Betty got slashed. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, but see, there's different types of scary movies. You have the slashers. You just have
Those are
like,
stupid.
haunted house movies.
Those are also stupid.
You have murder mysteries.
Those are
and,
stupid.
Like just intense things.
Okay, so the intense ones completely different from horror. Those
Yeah.
are suspense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Horror is like, oh my gosh, these people are going to die, and then they die.
yeah.
There's
for the
no
girl.
way around it. No, she dies usually because she trips and falls, and then the monster slashes her.
Ooh.
And so but most horror movies are like, all right, this demon has now possessed this boy. Yay!
And that boy murders everyone.
That was super happy. So glad I watched this
Yeah.
movie.
I
don't.
I remember
understand
speaking
it.
with one of my friends, and he said that he enjoyed watching horror movies because he would like watch them and try to figure out how they were trying to scare him. And it's not like he just sat there
Yeah.
the whole time critiquing it, but this was John. But I mean, I don't know. I've tried doing that when I watch scary movies, but I just, in the end, I can try to say something manly, but I just get scared.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty
and
much
I don't
just it.
enjoy that feeling.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't- yeah.
I
enjoy-
seriously do not understand how
I
people are
enjoy-
like, oh my gosh, that was so fun when you scared me.
Yeah.
So glad you did that. No.
I-
if I jump out and scare someone, they're going to be like, why the crap, dude? Why'd you do
Yeah.
that? Well, you like scary movies. It's
My-
the same thing.
Yeah, I think
Stupid.
there's I like when a typical like a fantasy movie has horrific elements.
Okay,
but
yeah.
it's not a horror movie.
Right, no,
in its entirety.
I can. Okay, so if like a movie has like a jump scare, it's like, oh my gosh, okay, that was kind of all right, whatever. That I can live with that. I'm not
Yeah.
a big fan of jump scares. I think it's just a cheap way to get the audience a little riled up. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's dumb, but I can live with it.
Yeah.
It's when like it's completely devoted to, like, just horrifying the
Yeah.
audience, like so that to the point where they can't sleep at night.
Yeah.
It's just like, what kind of a sick douche does this?
Now,
Like,
okay,
that's not okay.
I will say
Yeah.
this. It's not a horror movie, but the third Lord of the Rings movie
Mhm.
with Shelob's Lair,
Oh yeah,
I used to not be able to like
Watch
sleep
that.
well or
Yeah.
what.
that and,
after
actually
Um,
not
and there
not
was a
only
Harry
that,
Potter
but
movie.
like
Smeagol
Did that for me.
with
he freaked
yeah,
me out.
the She Loves Lair, but also like the Dead Army. Like that was pretty creepy the first
The
time I
green-
watched it. Yeah.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
They're all
Yeah.
like dead and like
Yeah.
I was like,
Ghosts.
oh gosh, that's kind of just
Yeah.
unsettling.
I don't remember which Harry Potter it is, and Amanda would slap
Still
me right
haven't
now
seen
if I
any of
couldn't
them.
figure this out. But like, there's one of them where it's not technically a giant snake, but it was a giant snake that's supposed to be like haunting the school or
Oh,
whatever.
I should know what basilisk.
Yeah, it's a basilisk. That thing. And I didn't
How
handle
did you
snakes.
pull that out of your butt?
I read the first and second books.
I think it was
read
probably
a
the second
third
one.
of the first book.
I think it was probably the second one.
Yeah, it was the second one.
But like, I couldn't.
I
handle
really did
giant-
read the book. Wow.
I couldn't handle snakes to begin with because I don't like snakes in the first place. But then just kind of like
Snakes don't do
that
anything
whole
for me.
haunting factor of
Mhm.
that, and then like just kids randomly dying because of the snake and
Oh,
like this
yeah.
and that. That creeped me out as a kid. And,
Yeah,
like, I
try
couldn't
sleeping
sleep
in the
for next
basement
couple
as a
nights.
kid, and it's like,
Yeah.
Seriously, I don't think snakes don't really bother me. I don't.
Spiders.
Okay, spiders are gross, and like
Spiders and snakes both. Like I can't handle it.
it's not so much spiders are like, oh my gosh, that's so scary.
probably
it's
couldn't
like
handle
I don't want to
snakes.
get bit. That's
Yeah.
not a fun sensation.
Well, and that's the biggest thing for me with snakes
Yeah.
too. Like I mean, I know that not all of them are poisonous.
Yeah, but snakes
But
you
just
can
like-
see coming. Spiders are like, what the crap? Where'd you come from?
Yeah.
And snakes, it's like, slither,
They're equally.
slither.
They're equally. Like I don't know. I just can't handle it.
Yeah,
That's my one claim to being like
And
Indiana
that's
Jones
fine.
is I
I
can't
don't like-
handle snakes.
I'm not gonna like say you're less of a man because of that. No, like, but like that's like it's understandable.
Yeah.
But, like,
Yeah, and it's
you know,
yeah. But imagine though, like a giant snake. That's pretty terrifying.
you imagine a giant spider. What would
They're
be
both equally
scarier, a
terrifying.
giant spider or a lot of small spiders?
A giant
Define
spider.
a lot of small spiders.
Like 10.
giant spider.
Would you rather
But you
fight?
could
Wait.
see it coming.
Wait,
Would it still be
Wait.
scary?
wait.
Hmm.
Am I in a room?
I mean, yeah.
Are they blocking off my escape route out of the room?
Okay. Say you're in this room
This room right now, and just 10 spiders randomly appeared right there.
and 10 spiders like start to swarm you. Or there's just one giant spider outside of your house.
Honestly, probably the giant spider.
You would rather take the giant 20-story spider outside of your house right now instead of the 10 little spiders just crawling around in here.
I'm saying the giant spider would be the scariest.
Yeah, okay. I was like, what?
Yeah, I feel like a giant spider would always be creepier, even if like they're freaking big tarantula things. Like, just a huge spider. Maybe. It's,
Now it's if you're
I
talking.
mean, I
like,
wouldn't like
okay,
either one.
If you're like ants from Indiana Jones, man-eating swarm, bunch of spiders. that would-
Skull was a dumb movie. Hated it.
I didn't bring that up to hear your opinion on Crystal
I,
Skull.
li- I liked some parts of it.
What part? Because I honestly want to know.
I haven't seen it in a
Everything
really
up
long
until
time.
the
I just
animals.
remember
And
watching.
Shia LaBeouf swinging with the monkeys. That was stupid.
I was like, what is going on? There's like 20 CGI monkeys swinging along that look trash, and he's like swinging along, going the speed of these like vehicles. I'm like,
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that was the part that
That's
I liked, is
suspended-
not the swing on the vines, but just like
that's
fighting
where
in
my
the jungle.
suspension of disbelief stopped. I
Yeah,
was just like,
it's-
and I don't like
Yeah.
this
That
movie.
that like the only other time that I can feel the equivalent to that was when Legolas started running up the falling rocks in,
Oh
in
my-
the All Five Armies. I was just like, okay,
Oh.
Yeah, I
I know
was
you're
like,
the Middle Earth incarnation of Batman, and you're just the super awesome BA elf who can do anything. But this is ridiculous and stupid.
He's
There's no
also
way
not-
you can defy
He's
physics.
also not in the books.
Exactly.
Or in the book of The Hobbit.
yeah.
Wow, we are way off topic. Where
That's
were
okay.
we?
That's okay. I kind of felt like the conversation was a little lull in the first place with the whole
Mm.
time thing, and
That's fine.
I kind of like where it's going now.
Yeah.
So we can keep going.
Wait, I don't even remember, where were we before this?
Yeah.
Greek. Oh, Harry Potter, serpents.
Immortality.
Immortality,
Yeah.
And
reliving the same day over and
Star
over.
Trek.
Doesn't look like there's time travel in it.
No. The first one did.
Plot twist. There's actually, they get a chance to go back and set everything right with the Kelvin.
Hey.
Yes.
That would be a plot twist.
That would be really interesting. Just like a full circle trilogy. Just like, wow.
Wow.
And then they do it, and then like the original trilogy was, or the original series is all set and right now. So
Yeah.
then the next time they reboot the Star Trek franchise in cinematic form, it's based off of
What
It's
if?
like a different ship.
yeah.
What if they all got a disease, had to transfer their consciousnesses into different bodies, and so Kirk.
So many different movies have done that.
So Kirk is
I'm
just
pretty
like,
sure there might be
okay,
an
well,
episode of that too.
this different
Yeah.
this different body that I'm being put into, he's gonna name it after his dad. And later on, he fathers himself. Full loop. Time
That's
travel.
also the movie Looper.
Never seen it.
That's the plot.
I haven't. No.
He fathers
it's
himself.
Nothing like that.
Oh, where he
It's-
has to go
I
back.
haven't
He has
seen
to
it
kill
either.
his
right,
future
but
self.
no, he has to kill his future self. But like,
That
there's
much I
a
know.
lot of stuff happens, and so basically, instead of killing his future self, he goes back in time and kills himself. So it just makes this weird time paradox. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen the movie. I also haven't seen it. This was spoiled for me.
Yeah.
But like, I was just like, wait, and if you time travel?
So getting back on that, like you have to time travel. You have to time travel back into the past to kill a past version of yourself,
Which does that mean?
does that mean you don't
even-
exist in the future? Like, are people going to recognize you and get back, or are you going to just
And
die
see,
automatically?
The TV show The Flash, they deal with time travel a lot because Barry can
Yeah.
run that fast.
Which I finished season 1. I haven't seen season 2 yet.
I like season 1. Season 2 was still really good. The finale was, it was okay. It was not. The season 1 finale was incredible.
Oh yeah.
Oh my word.
It-
But anyway, how they get around it is like there are time remnants. So like time is this highway that you get onto and you can maneuver and stuff. And like at one point in time you were there and that is solidified. But then like you can go back and alter it and like leave
Yeah.
2 of yourself in a time. It's complicated and I still don't fully understand it. But like they sort of explained it. I don't know. And then there's also Doctor Who where it's just like, oh, timey-wimey. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've never seen the show, but I know that much.
It's a good show, and it's super like honestly, like I think Doctor Who, as much as it is time traveling, it kind of strays away a lot of times from being a core time travel show, and just kind of becomes a sci-fi fantasy type thing.
Yeah.
Like, okay, this person and the Doctor will travel back in time to King Arthur's court or something like that, so they interact with them, or like Robin Hood or something like that. But like that, what they do won't have any consequence or anything like that, or they go visit Van Gogh, and that's really the only aspect of time travel in that show, is that they go back into that time or they go into the future. Sometimes though, like they have a stretch of 3 episodes or 2 episodes that is heavily focused on traveling back in time to affect the future, to win the war in the future, and like going back to the beginning and then up
Wait,
into
like
the
that
future.
X-Men movie?
Yeah.
Days to Future Past.
Yeah, and stuff like that. So, which I gotta say, Days of Future Past, that was like, whoever came up with that idea to reset all of the stuff that they know they ruined, that was absolutely genius how they handled it.
Yeah. It was good, and it was a good movie.
Yeah.
It's just weird that like the one after it, like I liked it. You got
Apocalypse?
Did you
I haven't
guys-
seen
you
Apocalypse
Still
yet.
haven't seen it. Crap. Then I'll try not to spoil anything. But like, it was just really interesting because it was an okay movie. Not very. It wasn't super well liked. I enjoyed it, but it just wasn't the same as the 2 before it. Like it
First Class
wasn't. It
and
wasn't
Days of
that
Future
caliber.
Oh,
Those
yeah.
were really good, and like it just seemed like they were just setting up some other stuff in the future. They didn't do it very well setting it up, and I'm really trying not to spoil this. It seems like they are going to make the same mistakes that they already
Really?
made. It seems that way. It seems like what they were setting up for. It's like you
were
just
setting it
fix that.
Yeah, it's like,
What
why
are
would
you
you go back and
doing?
do that? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
We-
I'll have
you-
to watch it and see what you mean.
You didn't reset just because you thought that those were bad movies, which they were. You reset because they were bad storylines,
Yeah,
which you're doing the same thing of.
yeah,
What do you Fox, just give it back to Marvel, please.
yeah.
That's all I'm
Let
asking.
Marvel take care of their own property. They
That's
can do
all I
it. If we can get Wolverine in the Marvel Cinematic
Oh my
Universe.
gosh.
Oh.
Here's the thing: if they did that, would you want Hugh Jackman to keep playing
I would
Wolverine?
I don't think he would. I would love to see Hugh Jackman do it again. He's an amazing Wolverine, and he's done it for what, 15 years now?
Yeah.
15, 16 years.
I
Like,
remember
that's
watching the second, not First Class, the Days of Future Past,
Uh-huh.
and that was my one complaint about the movie, because I went into it really hoping that Wolverine would just be like trashing people the whole time, like it was a Wolverine movie,
Right.
but it wasn't that. I mean, I wasn't upset because it was a good movie.
He did beat the
otherwise.
crap out of some people.
It's been actually so long since I've seen it that I don't
In the
remember.
beginning, when
They're
he wakes up
saying that
naked.
the next Wolverine movie will be rated R so that he can do that. So he can actually just go primal rage and just like actually tear people apart.
Yeah.
Oh shoot!
Yeah.
Okay,
So 'cause you guys saw Deadpool, right? Did you?
I saw the airplane version.
You probably saw. I mean, you definitely saw enough of it.
He like, yeah, he still beat up people.
I mean, yeah, he mutilated some
Yeah.
guys. I mean, like even that highway scene, like, And I'm probably sure you could just find the highway scene itself online, and that would be enough. But like,
Well, I'm sure I gathered enough from it from the trailer.
Oh,
Yeah.
like where it's kind of like the trailer at first, where he's like flipping the car.
I mean, people are getting
you wore the brown pants,
decapitated.
kind of thing. Yeah,
I mean, like,
shooting through multiple heads. With
yeah,
little-
exactly.
yeah.
People, I mean, just blood everywhere. Like, it's
Yeah.
probably gonna be like that, kind of stylized, or something like that. I'm
Mhm.
assuming.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Are they trying to tie the Deadpool stuff into the
It is.
X-Men movies?
It is.
Okay.
Not very well, but it is.
Okay.
And it doesn't need to be because it's Deadpool. Deadpool can do his own thing.
Yeah,
That's
Deadpool
fine.
can stand alone and be anywhere that he.
And
darn well pleases.
that's the thing with Deadpool is like he can,
break the
reference
fourth
that and
wall
be
it's
like,
fine.
yeah, Fox doesn't know what they're doing, but that's fine because these movies are great. And he can literally say that to the audience and get away with
Exactly.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds
From the
as
studio
Deadpool
that
is
mistakenly sewed his mouth shut.
Yeah,
time.
exactly. Don't make the super suit green or animated.
I didn't get that at first because I haven't
Lantern.
seen Green Lantern, but
Yeah.
then I was just like, oh,
I didn't even finish the movie. It was so bad.
really?
I didn't
Yeah,
even give it the day of light
I got to
or light
the
of day.
part where Parallax gets to Earth, and I was just like, I don't care anymore.
Yeah, that bad.
It was,
What
It
what
didn't
made
look
it bad? Was it just cheesy, or
it
the
was
CGI
cheesy,
was
it was
terrible?
over the top campy. Which, if you've seen the Fantastic Four movies, those are definitely like the original Fantastic Four.
Does it?
With,
Yeah.
like those are campy.
What do you mean
but, like,
campy?
Like
I
they're
don't-
just like
They play a lot.
they
on,
don't
like,
really. It's not very serious. It doesn't.
Oh,
feel
yeah.
Serious.
Yeah.
You're
Which-
just like whatever.
Ha
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
honestly, like MCU has done such a perfect job of finding that perfect balance between campy and serious.
Like okay, so
like it takes
think
itself
of,
serious enough for what it can
Right.
be,
Mhm.
but it also realizes I'm a comic book movie, so
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be like Saving Private Ryan,
Yeah,
or
exactly.
Braveheart, or
Yeah,
something
exactly.
like that.
And so like if you think of like spy movies, James Bond, and like that's a serious movie.
Yeah.
But if you look at the like the recent Mission Impossible movies, those are kind of campy. Like
Yeah,
they're,
I know,
they're
and
a
I
fun
like that.
play on
I
spy
like that.
Oh,
movies.
yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what I enjoy about them. They're super fun, and I love Simon Pegg. He's freaking hilarious.
Yeah.
Simon
Um,
Pegg is one of those people who like I honestly wish he was attached to every single movie possible.
Yeah, no, I
'Cause,
agree.
Like Star Trek, Star Wars,
he was in
all
Star
this
Wars.
stuff. Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He was the listening. My niece and nephew have been visiting
Uh-huh.
the past couple weeks, and the youngest of that group is in love with Star Wars: The Force Awakens. He plays it every single day, quotes the movie line for line.
He like watches the movie every single day.
Yes. Apparently,
Oh my
on there,
gosh.
they recently moved from New Bern to Leavenworth,
I did that with Iron Giant.
which that's actually a good movie too.
That is a good movie.
There's some
Vin
liberal
Diesel.
agenda in there,
Yeah, well,
but
Vin
it's okay.
Vin Diesel's in it. He voices the
Yeah.
robot.
Is that animated?
Yeah. That's a movie where honestly, if it got like a live action treatment, I don't think I'd be mad
I wouldn't either. It's a good
because it
movie.
would be interesting. But they moved from New Bern to Leavenworth, and so on the drive from their old house to their new house, they watched The Force Awakens like 6 times
Oh, good lord.
during the car trip.
Oh my
But they were
gosh.
watching
Sounds like
it
my
the other
kinda
day,
car trip.
and like I had to sleep on the couch in the living room because everywhere else was booked up, and so they would come upstairs really early in the morning, and I'd try to sleep through their noise, and they would watch The Force Awakens, and it got to the scene where Rey pulls the Jedi mind trick on the stormtrooper,
Mm-hmm.
and I recognized Daniel Craig's voice.
It was.
It was Daniel Craig.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh. That's
Yeah.
so
I
cool.
mean,
Wait.
that was like even before the movie came out. Like people were like, "Oh my gosh, Daniel Craig's gonna be in the movie," and everyone's like, "No, he's not."
Yeah, and it's just
then,
like a little cameo.
And even when the movie came out,
Just-
they're like, "Nah, Daniel Craig's done it. What? No."
And then you listen to it. If you have to just listen to it because then you can
Uh-huh.
pick up on, like
Mm.
he kind of has a tell of
how he says stuff.
how he says stuff and like the way he.
He's been a great Bond, I think.
Oh yeah, he's been
the
a
best
fantastic.
one. I
He's my
personally
personal
think.
favorite.
Yeah, and that's just the way I like the movies. And
Yeah.
and like the original, I would even say go back to like some of the older Bond movies. Those were sort of campy.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
I haven't seen any
But-
Bond movies. The one I almost
That's
watched,
right.
I fell asleep.
Yeah, I was
Wow,
going
really?
to make you watch
Yeah, this was
Casino
at
Royale
your
at my
house.
house one
Yeah.
time, and like Or no, he was here. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think
And like we all fell asleep because it was already 4 a.m. We were like, nah.
I haven't seen Spectre yet, but I think so far between
Spectra.
Casino Royale, what's the other one? Quantum Solace.
Quantum of Solace.
And, Skyfall.
Yeah, it's Quantum.
Skyfall is probably my favorite.
Quantum. Everyone says Quantum was just terrible, but I think it was.
It wasn't terrible.
It was fine.
It was fine.
It wasn't good.
spectacular.
It wasn't Casino. Oh my gosh, Casino Royale was so good.
Yeah.
And Skyfall was really good too. But I think
What do you think makes the Bond movies so good? Because I mean, I haven't
I
seen
don't
them.
know.
Are they just? Do they seem to work
Cinematography-
well?
The
and-
cinematography is amazing.
Yeah.
The whole like MI6. Well, and kind of like the lore of Bond.
Yeah.
It's
Just
just the
cool.
old school feel of it almost.
Yeah.
Plus Daniel Craig.
Yeah, Daniel
So
Craig as well.
I mean, like
I'm not a big fan of like, oh, it's a Bond movie. He has to knock up 3 different women in this movie. I'm like,
Yeah.
really? Does he
it's
have
not.
to?
It's not really ever that much though. Like the most.
It
I've-
is. It
Really?
really it is. It's
'Cause
at
I've
least
seen
2.
quite a bit.
It's he has at least, 2
yeah,
women
at
in
least
each
2.
single movie. I'm like,
He
why?
seduces for one reason or another, and
But
because
like,
Bond is known for being a player or whatever, but
so
a womanizer.
I don't care.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that.
But
whatever.
be thankful they're not going like Game of Thrones level.
Well, but then it wouldn't
Sex
be
scenes.
PG-13.
Exactly. Like it kind of feels like less and less it's been less glorified in the Bond movies than
You
it
haven't
feels like it used to be.
You haven't seen Spectre.
Okay, well, thanks for telling me that.
I'll tell you this much, Inspector, because this isn't giving away any plot points, but there is a woman that he seduces who literally the day before her husband died.
Wasn't that? Didn't he do something like
What-
that
what's
with
wrong with that? I'm kidding.
Casino Royale?
No.
There was a girl that he seduces.
Well, no,
she's
she
married.
was married, but the guy was a jerk. But like,
Yeah.
still, it
Then
was
she
like
ends up,
whatever.
you know.
And he kind of used that to get information. But yes, yeah, that was still like, okay, whatever. But like, yeah, and this one is just like,
I feel like that kind of made sense though in Casino Royale.
it made sense
'Cause,
in
like,
Casino-
that's how
this
he was
one
gonna extract
doesn't really
information.
make sense. It's like he murders this dude, and then like he goes and he's like, "What's up?" It's like,
I killed your
No.
husband.
you were just at the funeral. Ugh, stop.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyways, I think it's just a combination of the fact that it's the Bond lore, and it's done really well, like cinematography wise.
Yeah.
Soundtrack, acting,
Yeah,
action,
the soundtrack is probably one of the better.
all that
parts
type
it,
of stuff. Like
Yeah.
it just all works for some reason. I don't know why, but
Mhm.
it just does.
I feel like Bond's a pretty cool character.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Mission. I honestly think that like the newer Mission Impossibles are better than the other Mission
Oh,
Impossibles
I agree.
that I've seen.
Mission Impossible 3, when J.J. Abrams directed it, is where it started to get good.
Yeah. Which even then 3 isn't super spectacular.
I like 3
like
quite
Ghost
a lot.
Protocol over 3.
I like Rogue Nation over
Still haven't seen it. and
Ghost
I'm
Protocol in 3.
I really
How?
lost track.
I
What are you doing?
playing Overwatch.
How dare you?
I just feel like your life went in the toilet when you had a girlfriend.
yeah. Amen.
So moral of the story is,
I think-
if you're immortal,
I gotta say this.
Never get
never
Probably,
get married.
probably the one thing that I'm not so fond of being in a relationship about is that I can't just drop and go see a movie in a movie theater if I want. I have to do the whole like.
Oh no, you
Hey,
could,
hey,
but
do
it's
you
not the
wanna
ones you want to
join
see.
this movie?
Oh, that's
Do you
the
wanna go
worst.
see it?
And
And, like,
don't
it's-
you just hate having to check in with your girlfriend
No,
if
no,
she
that's
wants
not
to
what I'm saying.
join?
Protect
That's
you?
not what I'm
up,
saying. No, no, no,
man.
that's not what I'm saying. Okay, think
People
about
in
it. Okay, put
relationships,
yourself in this
man.
situation. You have a girlfriend. There's a movie. You want to see it. You know that she's
Hey,
not
babe.
gonna like it.
It's Tracy.
But Noah figuratively puts his arm around Tracer.
Tracer is Bay.
Who's the prettiest girl in Overwatch? The prettiest girl character.
We're not discussing this right now. They're animated. Shut up and continue with your stupid
Okay.
analogy.
But like,
Orendi.
Squanchy.
Oh, wrong game.
Squanchy.
Squanchy.
Battleborn. Okay. But like, you know,
Tracer's a man.
I don't know. Like, it's not because I feel like I have to, but like, it's the whole thing of like, I know that she's not gonna like this, and I know that my friends want to go, so I want to go.
But you
I don't
still want to give her the consideration of
Yeah, yeah.
inviting.
And,
Right,
like,
right,
and I
right,
want
right.
to do that, but that's not to say that like.
goes back to that freedom of choice.
Exactly.
And like, I want to be free. is this my future
You
or
guys
is it
are
my
twisting
girlfriend's
this.
future?
You guys are twisting.
So
this
wait,
way
like,
more than it needs
could
to
you
be.
give it an example, like
Warcraft?
Ice Age 7? Oh,
like I knew that she wasn't interested in that at all. But
Did you
I
invite
wanted
her?
to-
I still can't
I
believe
asked her
we
if she
dropped
wanted to go
money on
see
that
it.
movie. That movie was terrible.
Yeah.
Gosh. That movie pissed me off so
It
much.
pissed me off too.
Like, after we got out, we were like, really? But, like, the more we thought
Yeah.
about it, talked about it, we were like,
Yeah.
screw
Jake-
that movie.
Yeah. At the end of the movie, I remember.
Considering we talked about it like the day afterwards, it's just like this.
We
We
argument.
all got very angry
Yeah.
with that movie
It
the
got
day
from-
afterward.
It went from like that wasn't the worst
It was
movie ever to like
okay.
what were we thinking?
Why? Why would we subject ourselves to
Yeah,
that
like,
nonsense?
Boo.
You know,
Apparently, they lost like $60 million on that
Safe to
movie or
say-
something like that.
doubt they're gonna get any sequels.
China will get a sequel.
I don't
They-
care.
they-
China can have the
Yeah,
sequel.
they've
that's
made a
fine.
deal with China. Like,
I don't-
like people in China are like, we love this movie. I'm like, how? It's
It
terrible.
makes sense. Have you seen an anime?
Yeah, well, that's fair. Actually, that's Japanese, so that's racist.
Wow.
Oh.
Wow. This can't go on the internet.
You racist.
Shut your mouth. Anyway,
Can I
so-
just have a little quip about racism,
Yeah.
and then we'll get right off so that we don't start another conversation.
So
But
yeah, that
Yeah,
would.
we
my
have to
dad,
be- we
my
have to be
dad
wrapping up
always loves bringing up the fact that the neighborhood he lived in, whatever, it was like after World War II or whatever, and since his family had German heritage, there was like some heat against them, and so whenever he's hearing people, I really don't want this to become a race conversation, but whenever he's hearing people complain about like, oh well, this race, everyone hates them or whatnot, he's just like, yeah, trying to live in my neighborhood after World War II, it was, and I'm white. I don't know. It's just kind of different time periods thing.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that makes it okay. It's just don't feel like you're the only one to be looked down upon for
Yeah.
something that you didn't
Yeah.
do.
Everyone gets discriminated one way or another.
Yeah.
Even us.
Yeah.
And we're white.
Why do they sell shoes in pairs when some people only have 1 foot?
Amen.
Exactly.
That's discrimination.
All glasses have 2 lenses.
What if I only want one?
Exactly.
Well,
Discrimination.
they do have a monocle.
But that's not a glasses. That's a monocle.
The word itself is plural.
I'm dropping the mic.
Anyway.
We out.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for listening to this episode.
I want one glasses.
Thank you guys for listening to this episode of the Chocolate
Screw
Dollar
you,
Podcast.
glasses makers.
Thank you guys for listening to this episode of the
I
Chocolate
think
Dollar
there's
Podcast.
fog coming in.
Thank you guys for listening to this episode of the Chocolate Dollar Podcast. Like us on follow us on iTunes, subscribe, leave reviews, follow us on YouTube, Twitter, all that fun stuff.
Stop.
Chocolate Dollar signing off.
Thank you for listening to the Chocolate Dollar Podcast. Check in next time.
Thank you for listening. Tune in next time on August 30th.